back to this week's edition of Ask Ron, where Ron answers our Gold Club members' questions. How are you doing today, Ron?
I'm good. Weather's perfect. And I got up this morning. I'm good.
It's a good day. Do want to remind you guys that this is a benefit for our Gold Club members. So if you are not a Gold Club member yet, how can they become one, Ron?
Go to ronsgoldclub.com, and there's 3 different levels, and they'll give you the facts there.
Perfect. All right, well, we'll go ahead and jump right into this thing. The first question that we have is from Tony and Angie Stewart. They said, last week you asked for lesson ideas. Could you do some training on best practices in engaging transactional funding to help us with ugly house deals with all of the forces working against us nowadays?
Tony, you got to quit listening, hanging around the wrong people. Because there are no forces working against you today. The same forces were working with you in 1982 when I started. We're going to have competition. We're always going to have them. We're always going to have up markets and down markets. Be very careful you don't use what you just said there in that statement as an excuse to quit because something's missing out of your program. Now, you're coming down to see me pretty soon. We're going to work on that then. But there's wholesale deals out there, always will be. Ugly houses are all over America, and no recession is going to make them into all pretty houses. So we just got to get the right tools in your hands so you can get out there and find them and get them to come to you. And I went over that in boot camp. I got 2 3-day sessions on just finding the deals. But your best bet today, I think, is Deal Finder, which is on one of the Gold Club levels now, so it doesn't even cost you any extra per month. It's an amazing tool, and if I were just starting, I would absolutely get involved with Deal Finder, and you'll see how you can sit at your home and very narrowly narrow down the people that you want to go to, and so you don't have to send many letters or many postcards in a given week because you're targeting your list so well using AI technology anywhere in the country that you want. And I'm excited about that tool. We're using it now and we're getting results out of it. But it's about locating the deals, which means you got to crank up the buying machine and figure out what works best for you and hang in there and test other things from time to time. But you got to get your machine going. You got to get leads coming across your desk or you don't have a business.
All right. Next up is, can more than one person be on a land trust?
Oh yeah, there are going to be as many beneficiaries as you want, except in your IRA. Your IRAs only have one person in it. That's why they call it an individual retirement account.
All right. Next up, so a transfer to beneficiary is considered a sale. So who pays the capital gains tax during that sale?
Whoever did the transfer. Just because it's in you're transferring beneficial interest, you still sold the property, so it's got to be the exact same from there on. You're going to have profit that's got to be accounted for in that seller's tax returns. Just no matter how the property was held, you're going to pay the same amount of taxes when you're signing a beneficial interest, which means you're selling the property, so to speak. You're selling the trust that owns the property.
All right. Next up, what's the most common mistake new real estate investors make, and how can they avoid it?
I got a whole book of them. It's called what's it called? Lessons Learned. Yeah, at Amazon, I'll get you a whole book of those. But there are things that stand out. They're pretty much true for everybody entering the business. One thing is just afraid to talk to a seller, just petrified when they got to talk to somebody because they think they got to have all the answers. Some people petrify the contracts, which are very simple once you actually read them and figure out what's in them. No, just put the blanks where if you got a blank, you fill in a number if it's applicable. Fear is the biggest thing to keep people from moving forward, and the unwillingness to do something to generate leads. Because I'll say it again, if you don't generate leads, you don't have a business. It's really that simple. If I have a service station, I don't have any gas, how long do you think I'm going to be around? Not very long. Okay. If I have a restaurant and I'm out of food, I'm out of business. Same here. You got to generate leads. And we got 3 day events on that. If you guys are interested, just call and get in my boot camp. That's where we're going to demonstrate it. That deal finder thing. We're also going to go spend a whole half a day on nothing but generating leads, because without them we got no business. And then some people just again, they're just so petrified to talk to a seller, they'll do nothing and they'll make excuses not to make the call. And that's even after our virtual assistant has collected all the information on the property information sheet. Now, if I'm in the world of junkers and I want to buy out of MLS, I don't need to talk to the seller. That's why so many people like it. There's no script you have to learn because you're just making an offer to an agent, and the agent's handling it from then on. You never really talk to the seller unless you're getting them from FSBOs, and then of course you got the same thing. You got to get on the phone with them, find out that they'll take a price that you're willing to pay. That script is pretty easy. If I pay you all cash and close quickly, what's the least you could accept? Done. Then when they give you an answer, is that the best you can do? Done. And quickly you'll determine whether you're going to have a deal there or not.
All right. Next up, does a land trust do anything to combat eminent domain?
No. Eminent domain, it don't make any difference what entity you hold it in. If the state wants it or the county wants it, they can take it. Of course, they got to pay your fair market value for it. But if that ever happens to you, make sure you get some help on that, because they have to live by the rules too.
All right. And then last but not least for you, Ron, this is from Kevin Murphy. He says, which virtual assistants call the for sale by owners on the daily list? Is that Pat Live?
No. Pat Live takes incoming calls, Kevin. They don't call anybody. Our virtual assistants make outbound calls to fill out the property information sheets.
All right. Well, that's everything that I got for you this week, Ron. Is there anything you wanted to mention to the people?
Well, you all have access to the website. You know when our events are coming up. And might want to, I only got two live events left this year. One's in Jacksonville, one's in Chicago next week, in fact. That's all I got. There's a virtual in October, and that'll round us out for the end of the year. Don't think we have anything scheduled for December, do we? I don't know. It's on our website anyway, so get out there and get some action going. Do something to generate some leads. And then when you get your head in this game, then you'll learn fast. Once you are out there doing things, your answers will come to you quickly, and that's the only really way you're going to learn. You can listen to me till you can't stand me anymore. You still got to get out there and deal with people and do something to turn up leads if you're going to be a winner in this business. All right.
All right.